Remember being a kid, when a summer vacation felt like an entire lifetime? Yeah, now a summer is basically the time between you blinking in May and suddenly seeing a pumpkin spice latte. It feels like someone secretly hit the fast-forward button on your life. And you are not imagining it, your perception of time is genuinely accelerating into a black hole of responsibilities. So why does this happen? Is it just because being an adult is a miserable, repetitive slog? Well, kinda, but there's some actual science to it. First up is the most obvious one, the math, or the proportionality theory. When you are 5 years old, 1 year is a whopping 20% of your entire existence. That is a massive, significant chunk of your life. But when you are 50, 1 year is only 2% of your life. It's a tiny, almost insignificant sliver in the grand pizza of your timeline. So each new year feels shorter because, relative to the time you have already lived, it is shorter. It's like downloading a file. That first 10% takes forever. But the jump from 90 to 100% feels like it happens in an instant. Okay, so that's the depressing math part. Next up is the fun part, your brain is getting lazy. This is all about novelty, or the lack of it. As a kid, almost everything you do is a first. Your first day of school. Your first time riding a bike. Your first trip to the ocean. Each of these new experiences requires a ton of brain power to process. Your brain is meticulously recording every detail because it has no idea what's going on. This dense, detailed information creates rich, thick memories. And when you look back, all that detail makes the time feel long and substantial. Now, let's look at your adult life. What did you do on Tuesday? You woke up, you went to work, you came home, you stared at a screen, you went to sleep. It was probably the same as last Tuesday and the Tuesday before that. Your brain has seen the show before. It does not need to record all the details of your commute because it's done that 10,000 times. So instead of saving a rich, detailed video file, it just saves a shortcut. This is called chunking. Your brain lumps repetitive experiences together into one boring, efficient memory. So when you look back at the past year, you do not have 365 unique days of memories. You have a few highlights, like that one vacation, and then a giant blurry chunk labeled work. Less data to recall makes the time period feel way, way shorter. It's the road trip effect. Driving to a new place feels like it takes forever because you are noticing every weird sign and new landmark. The drive back home feels twice as fast, even though it's the exact same distance. Your brain just checks out because it's already seen all this stuff. There's also a biological component. As we age, our internal clock, driven by our metabolism and neural pathways, actually slows down. We literally process fewer frames of information per second than a child does. So, because our internal processor is slower, the external world appears to be moving faster to keep up. It's like playing a video game on a laggy computer. Everything outside of you seems to be skipping ahead. So to recap, you are doomed by math, betrayed by your lazy brain, and hobbled by your slowing biology. It's a perfect storm of time acceleration. So what's the solution? Are we just supposed to accept our fate as we blur towards the finish line? Not necessarily. The key is to fight the routine. You have to actively seek out novelty. Learn a new skill. Travel to a place you have never been. Take a different route to work. Eat something weird. Basically, you have to force your brain to wake up and pay attention again. Force it to create those dense, rich memories that make time feel full. It's the only way to stretch out the timeline you have left. Or, just lean into the blur and rewatch the same TV show for the 8th time.